Okay, it's April the 6th, 2013. This is Reality Supreme Being on the air, also known as HRM Caesar St. Augustine de Buonaparte. I'm getting on the air today to talk about some serious discussion about, what YouTube is doing. It used to be, I think I've mentioned this before on my other YouTubes, that when you punch in a name up there at the top, like Reality Supreme Being, halfway through the name, there's another guy on there who says Reality spelled with a Y, and then separate space Supreme Being. My name doesn't show up underneath his name or above his name, his or her name, which I think is unfair. And that limits my exposure to people that haven't even heard me, don't know that I ran for president of the United States, that I challenged the two idiot candidates 16 times, and gave them 30 days to answer in each one, and that was over a course of 2 years. Nobody knows the story that my house was burnt, that there's all these multiple conspiracies going on against me, and everybody, and of course people take the easy way out. Oh, he's just paranoid and blah 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 and all that, and it's not. It's the truth. You would have to have lived with me the last 3 years to see the crap, and it's still happening to me. You don't understand, you people really don't understand. There's no recovery for what they're doing to me. Your society, the society you're paying taxes to, the same society that kills all those innocent men, women, and children from Afghanistan, from Iraq, and from all the other wars, Panama, Vietnam. So you have a collective in America, and the collective is totally ignorant, totally abusive, totally negligent, and the list goes on. But it's interesting to note how when I talk about the Bilderberg Group and all of the conspiracies going on against certain people, because they've picked out, the government knows about me. So there's no doubt about it. Obama knows about me. The vice president knows about it. Lousy Congress. If you ask them straight out right, they'll say, we don't know what you're talking about. They'll act dumb and like they're totally uninformed. A president and Congress should be informed even about the tiniest person that hates this country so much that there'll never be any common ground between them and the country. They leave it to the local law enforcement to attack people like me, because see, that's their game. And when they've done enough damage, they don't have to do any more. And it's scary when you realize, from personal experience, and there aren't very many of you that lived my life. None of you have. You don't know that the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission, the rich money interests, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all the rich families, the Ford, the Carnegies, you have no idea that all these people have their finger on the controls of every person in this country. Now, a lot of you may not believe it because you've been horrorized. There's horror, W-H-O-R-E, horrorized. You've been bought and paid for, and you've agreed to it. And part of the agreement is they've tempted you with all the toys, the electronic books, the laptops, the internet, the computer. You really think that people have changed. They haven't. They're becoming more desensitized. They text each other. You don't even know half the people you talk to on the internet. Why do you even bother? You're all morons. Rush Limbaugh, Howard Stern, KPFK, the Underground radio station. These are all bullcrap. They're nothing but bullcrap artists. And you people have fallen for it for decades, not just a couple of years, decades. And I can't believe that you people would allow someone to murder people like me, because that's what you're doing. Slow death, slow suicide. And leaving only two conclusions, two alternatives, not resources, but alternatives, which is for the person that's being attacked, commit suicide, and then they can stamp you a wacko and a nutcase, and this person had mental problems, and they always use that as a rubber stamp. And the media, of course, will put that on the air. Or you have a break with reality and you start shooting people in churches, cars, boats, motorhomes. You start blowing up apartment buildings by turning on gas in an empty apartment and setting a remote control fire device to blow things up. There's all kinds of ways that this country could really fall apart. The bottom line is that no one lifted a finger to try to help me. No one cared to try and help. So of course you're going to create, literally, a person who has nothing but 100% hatred for every last living person in the United States of America. A country that you have no right to do what you did to me. And you're still doing it. And of course I'm dying slowly, of course. I've talked in my other videos about my teeth, my life, my liberty. That's all false. It's false liberty, false life. It's a matrix. It's just like in the movie The Matrix. So let me get back to the YouTube. Before, when you punched in Reality Supreme Being, all one word, no separations, no spaces, one S, there's no Y in my name. It says realities. That means plural. R-E-A-L-I-T-I-E-S. And then you use the same S for the word supreme, so there's only one S in Reality Supreme Being, and of course the word being. But it's all one word. Well, when you punch in half my name, it should come up with 2 blocks below saying reality with a Y, space, reality, space, supreme being, one word. So there's 2 words there. Then my name should also appear underneath there, but it doesn't. You know why? Because YouTube is bought and paid for by the Bilderberg, the Trilateral Commission, the rich money interest. They'll never admit to it, but they are. The rich honchos that are making money off of YouTube, they're the ones that are pocketing that money and saying, wow, we got a great thing going here. We're not going to rock the boat. We're going to be a part of it. Pay to play politics. Pay to play financial obligation and financial security. So these people sit there and control the knowledge of one of the smartest men in the world, myself, and not exposing people to that. You know, I went to Tony Robbins in LA convention here. They had the adult.com next door, which is the porn industry, and the Tony Robbins thing, and there was also an obese thing called V-Body. And I went there and I started talking in front of Tony Robbins, one of his places outside the center where he was talking. And I told him how Robbins was missing all this information, very important information, to tell your clients that are paying $1,500 a head to see him talk and yell and rant and rave on stage and talk about positive thinking, but not even hinting on the actual workings of the human body and what people really should know. How to keep themselves healthy, how to prolong their life longer, and how to never need a doctor. But these people, like Kevin Trudeau in his book, what the medical industry doesn't want you to know. And you people just don't get it. You're stupid. You deserve every bit of health issue that you're going to inherit, either now or sooner or later. And then you'll bitch and complain at the government about how, we don't have good health care, and blah, 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 blah. You know, it's all moronic crap. And instead of me getting, we get back to YouTube. So, let's get back to YouTube. Reality Supreme Being. So my name comes up, and you see old videos of me. Remember, there's like 400 videos. So you see old videos of me that go back to 2 years ago. Water being scamming us, and so on. Now before, I had a whole list of all my videos, and people had a choice to pick and choose whichever one they wanted to choose. Then there's also, then you go from relevance. That's when you put my name in. The one that's shown automatically is all my YouTubes by relevance. Relevance by the title. Then the next one, you go to filters, it shows date upload and also numbers, like how many. You know, how many views you've gotten. Well, I punched on the filter box. I punched, relevance was already showing. And you only get 6 of my videos, and then all these other videos show up, and there's no relevance to those videos in mine. Then the next one shows is date upload. So I click on that one, and different videos, but only 2 show up, and the rest of them are people I've never ever seen. Bunch of other videos that have nothing to do with me. So they're mixing date uploads. Before they didn't. It was all my own videos. Now they go to date upload, and you see my most You don't see my most current video. It's way down there after 50 or 60. This is a form, and you got it. For those of you that are really smart, this is a form of control freakism. They want to limit the number of people that are hearing my videos because people out there, more than 30,000 of them, many of them have taken their tablets out, taken my advice, and started to make notes, believing, having faith that I am actually making predictions about the future, that I did predict 9/11, that I did predict the Aurora shooting, that I did predict the Sandy Hook shooting, that I did predict Superstorm Sandy, that I did predict all these things cryptically, interwoven in all of my rants and raves. And why do I do it on purpose? Because you people deserve that form of punishment. I would never tell anyone a direct prediction of what's going to happen, because that's my way of fighting back. That's my revenge against all of you for hurting me for more than 30 years, and the last 10 years being the worst. Stealing every piece of property, everything that I ever worked for from me, and using the color of law to do it. So then I clicked on numbers, of course, views, and it's the same thing. YouTube is like changing all this stuff, but they don't realize that what they're doing is they're limiting my exposure to all these people. I mean, look how many people voted for president. All those people. I was, how would you call it? Censored. In a roundabout way, that's a form of censorship. They have censored the number of videos that people can see of me when I was running against Obama, that moron Obama, and the Bilderberg puppet, Obama and Romney. They're all Bilderberg puppets. They're all rich money interest puppets. Whatever they say on television, and the media is right along with them. Even when the media says bad things about them, that's already been choreographed. They've already got that all worked out. Now, many of you may think that and I'm sure you do, out of the 30,000 people that have looked at my videos, there's only been like 20 people that made nasty or ridiculous comments. And most of those people, maybe 20 or so, probably were Obama themselves under a code name, or somebody saying, you're full of crap, blah, 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 and trying to really upset me. But they don't realize that I have a computer system that tells me exactly which person is contacting me and which one is making that negative comment. It gives me their name, their address, where they live, their phone number. It gives me everything. So in this day of technology, don't think that I'm not telling you the truth, because I am. It tells me everything about you. So don't bother making those comments to me. Go make them to a lousy, crappy White House. I told you how to interject into the White House, how to hack the White House phones. Dial 202-456, and then the last four numbers from anywhere from 0000 to 9999, from 1 to 1, from all those four, 1 to 1,000 to 1 to 9,999. That's how many numbers you got to go through to actually reach voicemails of the security staff of the White House, Secret Service, blah, 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 blah. And they stagger the numbers. So a lot of the numbers, let's say from 2222 to T250, the numbers in between those are all empty. You've reached a non-working number. A non-working number. It used to say, reach a non-working number at the White House. It doesn't anymore. They caught on to that because during the Reagan era, I was hacking the White House like crazy. But see, they know that they'll never be able to get me to work with them, and certainly I'm never going to give them a direct, outright prediction. And I'm here to tell you that more terrible things are going to happen, whether it's by government conspiracy, them actually doing it to get some kind of effect. Let's take, for example, a news media story, the one about North Korea. You think they're actually going to launch a weapon? You got to be kidding. They have AWACS in the air that's able to detect cruise missiles, if they had cruise missiles, and they'd have to get close enough to the United States in order to launch one, and then there'd still be a big chance of them blowing it up before it gets there, because atomic bombs go off until the nuclear trigger is right on top of the city. They don't go off. If you blow up an atomic bomb on its way in a rocket, it just blows up and of course deposits a lot of dangerous radioactive material into the ocean or wherever else they're going to dump it. It's going to get dumped from the explosion, but it ain't going to go off. And if you could get your hands on 12 pounds of plutonium and shoot a small ball of plutonium out of a cannon
into the larger mass, it has to be at least 12 pounds, you can set off a nuclear reaction, boom, just like that. You'll see a mushroom cloud, and you won't be alive, of course. But yeah, you can set it off. The simplicity in exploding a nuclear weapon is not that complicated. The complication is getting your hands on that raw fissionable material. Well, I shouldn't say raw, I mean processed fissionable material. But beyond that, I mean, these people it's all a game. And so they put the show in the air that North Korea is threatening and blah, blah, blah. They're going, well, so was Iraq. So there was supposed to be weapons of mass destruction. There weren't. Hello? So the bottom line is that you're all being scammed. If it isn't by the water beings that I claim are invisible and that they're manipulating you, then it's by the very same government, which is also being manipulated. And you people really have to be dumb, moronic, and idiot to have nothing better to do than to be on YouTube making crappy comments and talking here and talking there. And I know I've been doing it, yeah, but I've been doing it for a reason. And the reason is to try to grow not a following, but a population, an army, like a rainbow coalition, and fight the government. Stop paying taxes. Tell them we're tired of you manipulating us. We want to have more control over our own lives. We don't want you to come in, state, federal, or local, any official coming in to people that are not causing trouble and do this to people, like what they've done to me. So today, I might be able to make 2 videos, part 1, part 2. And I hope I've educated you on this. But you know, the sad part is that my videos are going to be juggled around, including the date, April 6, 2013, and they have control. I'm doing this through a medium that I have no real control over how many people are going to see this and how many people are going to protest about it. Well, you're certainly not going to protest about it because your life is fine. You're not homeless. Your teeth aren't rotting in your mouth. You don't have zero health care. You don't have, all the bad things that have been perpetrated on me by Obama, by the White House, by the Congress, by the state legislatures, by the local crappy authority figures. I mean, and the media's on their side. They're all on the same game. And so what can we do about it? What can I do about it? Nothing. I mean, I'm just waiting to die. That's all. I'm not going to see a doctor. I just hope, that it comes quick, that I just, get sick, go in the hospital, and then die. They've stolen all my stuff, manipulated my life, forced me to put stuff in storage facilities, as opposed to when I was wanting to move out of California to my own property. I mean, the whole thing is a network of nothing but cow manure, quagmire, unbelievably forced quagmire on any person who challenges the crappy system that we have, and it's crappy. No matter how many toys they give you, no matter how well you think your life is, it's not going to be well when Comet Ison, let's say, comes and destroys the planet because they're lying to you about the comet. They're lying to you about what's going on out there. And even if they could tell you the truth, they'd have nothing but a total wacko, out-of-control world order going. There wouldn't be any world disorder going on. People committing suicide, people killing their own children because they might as well put them out of their misery before the comet comes and causes all kinds of horrible atrocities even further than what we can deal with. Hey, I'm being honest with you people. My life has been destroyed. You've watched me for 3 years, some of you, and nobody has come to my aid. Nobody has said, yes, Caesar, we're going to help you get out of the United States of America because that country is poison to you. We can see you've been punished for 3 years and 30 years. 3 and 30 years. And no one has come forward. So, but you give money to charities, you rich people out there. You give money to this person, that person. So you can paint yourself as a Joan of Arc, Well, you're all going to be burned at the stake. Because when that comet hits, or any meteor that's coming that you don't know about, that NASA doesn't know about, because like Billy Bob Thornton says in the movie Armageddon, it's a big-ass sky, Mr. President, and unfortunately we only have $3 million for our budget. And that covers only 3% of the sky. I mean, you're lucky you even saw the comet Ison coming past Jupiter. But no matter how many telescopes you have pointed all around the earth, you're bound to miss one. And all it takes is one big one to wipe you people out and make you suffer the way you've made me suffer. Without one person lifting a finger to damn well help me. So, you know what? Good riddance to all of you when the time comes and it happens. Because when it does, I'm going to sit in a chair just like this one. I'm going to get a whole bunch of champagne and drink myself to death. And I don't drink, smoke, or do drugs. So you think about that while the dangers are coming through space right at us.